Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Spider Monkey Eats. Today we're going to make a chunky beef chili. Why it's a little bit more chunky is we're going to use, and I'll show you, some chuck beef. Okay, so the chunks of some beef and then as well some ground beef. Okay, really good quality. So you're going to get a little mix. This is my favorite way to make chili, is to have both in there. We're going to have kidney beans, black beans, really good seasoning, some peppers. You guys are going to see everything go in here. But the first thing that we're going to do is I have a Dutch oven. You can have a large pot just heating up. We're going to put some olive oil. I'm going to put a little bit of the onion, and then we're going to brown the chunks of meat. We do have to take these out. You don't want to overfill because you want everything to get nice color. So you can take your time with this. So we'll do just about a tablespoon. We just want a little bit to coat, and the meat is going to have its own fat, so we don't need to overdo it. So we're going to go a little bit of olive oil there. Don't want this too hot. We're just going to use a little bit of onion just to give the meat some flavor. That might sizzle a little bit. Just a little bit. Down. So again, you're going to place these one by one. I already season these. I like to season my meat a little bit before putting it in there. So just a little bit of black pepper and salt. You want, again, everything to have an even spot. So you don't want to just dump this in here. I want every side to get a little bit brown. So we just wanted to get some golden color. These don't have to be cooked all the way through. We're going to throw them back in. They're going to continue cooking. So we're going to take some of these guys out. We're just going to keep them off to the side. We're going to brown our ground beef next after we throw in our onions. Alright, so remove the bigger pieces of meat. The meat was pretty lean, so I just added another tablespoon of olive oil. Okay, now we're going to add the rest of our onion. This was in total one large yellow onion. We're going to let this cook for about 3 to 5 minutes just to soften down, and then we're going to add our ground beef to brown that. Onions have been softening. We're going to add in our ground beef. Like I mentioned, I just put a little bit of salt and fresh ground pepper on it ahead of time, just because I like the meat to be a little bit seasoned so it doesn't start cooking right away. Unseasoned. We're going to break up these chunks, let everything get nice and brown, and then we will add in the rest of our peppers and garlic along with our seasoning. Ground beef is nice and browned here. Okay, we can even move this out of the way a little bit. It's going to stay in. But we're going to have our green pepper go in there. Okay, so this large green pepper. You can use either 1 or 2 jalapeños if you like some kick. I left the seeds in, and then 8 cloves of garlic. It really only comes out to about 2 tablespoons. We really want this nice and flavorful. Okay, but again, for those jalapeños, if you don't like too much kick, you don't have to keep all the seeds. But we will mix this all up. Let this cook. Smell that already. We're going to let this cook for about 2 minutes, then we're going to mix in all our seasonings. We just want those to soften a little bit. So we let our peppers soften a little bit. We're going to add our seasonings. I have chili powder, paprika, some cayenne, which smells delicious. We're going to put that in there. Sprinkle a little bit all around. And then I also have ground cumin. I have some salt, onion, and garlic powder. So this is really going to be delicious. Let this cook. So we'll stir this, we'll let it cook for 2 minutes, and then we're going to add in a can of tomato paste. So we want to really stir this the whole time, 2 minutes. You don't want to let it sit. You want to get all these flavors come together. Already smells delicious. Cannot wait. So just about 2 minutes, and then we'll add that tomato paste in. Can of tomato paste is going in. We'll stir this around. We're going to let this cook for 5 minutes, and then we will add the rest of our ingredients, and then the rest of the job is just to let it sit and cook down. Alright, so let's get this last bit off here. Stir everything together. We'll watch the time for 5 minutes. Kidney beans are going in. Okay, these have been rinsed, drained. Both of the beans, these are black beans. Rinsed and drained. We're gonna put our beef that we had before right back in. You can give this a little stir first. Alright. Have some crushed tomatoes. These are fire roasted crushed tomatoes. And then some beef broth. So we're going to bring everything up to a boil and then turn it down so it's at a low simmer. Because of the bigger pieces of meat, we want to let this cook at a low simmer for about an hour and a half at least. Okay, so that those pieces of meat get nice and tender. So we're not going to cover this, we're going to leave it uncovered. Again, bring it up to a boil and then a low simmer for about an hour and a half. Final product. Again, we brought this to a boil once everything was in it and then let it simmer for an hour and a half. Okay, took it off the heat, let it cool just a little bit. Okay, you don't want it boiling hot, just for 5 minutes. So we're gonna give it a try. Very excited. It smells very good. Definitely can feed a whole family with this recipe. Good to have some meal prep. Easy to come home to have some dinner already made. You guys see the big chunks of meat, the beans. Really good, top quality ingredients. So let's give it a try. We won't get everything, but we'll get a little bit of the beans, meat. Not too spicy by any means. With those jalapenos, you get that little edge, you know it's in there, but it is not overwhelming. And trust me, I don't like over the top, but I do like to know that, you know, there are those spices and seasonings in there. Really good, really fresh. I can't wait to even try those bigger pieces of meat because cooked slow, they're gonna be nice and tender. Hopefully you guys like this. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Definitely try it out. You'll see in the description there's a full recipe and instructions on how you do everything. But if you have any questions, just leave me a comment. If you guys never want to miss an episode of Spider Monkey Eats, definitely subscribe to our channel, Ultimate MMA Plus. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one.